So you might have heard about passive income, side hustles, and now people are talking about, well, you can do it through Etsy. You can create passive income doing a side hustle. It's so easy. And there's actually 5 products that you can do it with. Actually, that's what Forbes put out on their website. And Chris pulled up the article for me, and we've got a little bit of a problem with these products and the whole thing about passive income and side hustles. So Chris, why don't you pull that up and let's see exactly what they are saying. What are they saying about this passive income side hustle? Is it that easy?
Well, apparently, because Forbes was able to put together a list of not just one, not just 2, but 5 Etsy side hustles for passive income in 2024. And Scott, the question that I have for you before we dive into this article is, when you hear the words passive income, beyond that like vomit reaction that you have in your throat, what is, like, how would you define passive income? I guess
passive income would be this. I do something once and I never have to touch it again, and money just comes in. Doesn't matter. It just keeps coming. I don't have to do anything anymore. I just did it once and it just keeps coming in. We've heard this a lot with affiliate marketing. They're like, oh yeah, affiliate marketing. You do that, you create a product and then you get paid and you just do that and you're always going to have traffic. You're always going to, nothing goes up and down. Like it's just, passive income. Now, I do think there is such a thing as somewhat passive income, but it's not 100% of what everyone thinks it is. And I think that's what we'll probably dig into here.
Yeah, I think the only example off the top of my head, Scott, that I can think of that's truly passive, and I can't pick the right layout here, apparently. The only thing that I can think of that's truly passive is like interest that you're getting from a savings bond or from your bank account, right? Everything else, not truly passive. There's going to be some work involved, but Forbes is telling us there's 5, and they came up with what they are calling 5 different ones. And I wanted to dive into each of these here really fast. So the first one that they're saying will create you truly passive income using Etsy in 2024 is selling art patterns and templates. So digital templates for different art projects. Somebody had mentioned in our last live a table runner, for example, right? What are your thoughts on this as a source of passive income using Etsy?
Well, okay. So can you sell art templates, whether it's for people that are doing scrapbooking or any of that stuff? Sure, you absolutely can. But are they saying that I just have to basically create these, put them up on Etsy, and then they're going to sell? Okay, maybe they should have put in there like, yes, you can do this. It's very competitive. There are people doing it right now, but what we also have to address is they're not having consistent sales forever. So that passive income, it could be $1 this month and it could be $1,000 next month. And next month after that, it could be 0. So is it possible? Yes. But is it truly passive? Now, the side hustle piece, I'd say, that could be your side hustle. You're going to have to grind at it. You're going to have to work at it. Competition there is just intense, right? So could it work? Yeah. Is it truly passive? No.
So I scrolled down because we're gonna get on a theme here, and I think you guys will sense this here in just a second. So that first one was like art templates, right? Maybe it's a design template that somebody can reuse. Number 2, how-to guides. Okay, there's a digital product. Yes, we create this kind of once, and then it has the potential to sell over and over again. Number 3, to me, is the same as number 1, Scott. Printable art, right? Yes, with number 1, they are doing something with the digital file that we're selling them. But number 3 is printable art. And then number 5 is photography as printable art. So we didn't even give 5 different niches or nichos or nachos, depending on who you ask. We gave one example and then tried to spread it out over 5 different things. So what I'm hearing from this article in general is that if you're selling digital products on Etsy, that is a good way to make passive income in 2024. Scott, for people who are brand new sellers in 2024, is that something that's 1, feasible, 2, a good strategy, and 3, actually a passive way of generating income?
Okay, so we have to address the side hustle piece, because as a side hustle piece, that means you have a limited amount of time. Okay, so if you have a limited amount of time and you're going to enter the digital template space or the digital art space or digital products space on Etsy, you're gonna be working your butt off. Number one, you are most likely going to be creating these bundles of templates. That's going to take you a lot of time. Once you do that, now you have to market the product. People think you're just going to slap it up there on Etsy and it's going to sell. That's not the case. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do what we do. You're going to have to launch the product. You're going to have to get aggressive with your pricing. You're going to probably want to run ads. You're going to want to tweak the ads. You're going to want to look at the keywords in the ads that are showing for, and all of these different things. So the side hustle piece, I almost have a bigger problem with that than the passive income, because side hustle means that you're going to do something a couple hours a day and you're good. Now, I'm not saying once you get things up and running, you can spend 2-3 hours a day. You can. It depends on how far you want to push it. The passive income side of things, like, what are we talking as far as the amount? Like, when I hear passive income, I want the same every single month. And you could say, well, they're not saying that. They're saying passive income could mean $5 this month and $100 next month, but you're always making money. True. But I look at it like, how do I guarantee that I'm going to make X? And that would be passive income to me. And I don't think there's such a thing out there. Of course, like you said, if you did like a bond or something like that. But even if you look at the stock market, if people are retired right now, you're withdrawing that money out of there. That money might have made 5% last year, and the next year it might make 7, 8%. So it's always going to be different. And that passive income that you're pulling, yes, that might be the same, but you're not making the same. So it's a little bit different. So as far as, is it possible? Yes. Do you need time? Yes. What I would do is I would still look at this as building a business, building a brand. So this way here, I could have repeat customers. And that would be more along the lines to help me make it passive, if it even is, because I'd still have to write emails and I'd still have to do the marketing. So is it truly set and forget? No.
I think the better thing we can take away from this is that there's nothing wrong with these as a starting point, right? If we have photography, we have recipe collections, and we want to list those as digital products, that's fine. And that is going to be more passive than selling a print-on-demand product or hand-making things for these spaces as well. But the trap that so many people fall into is like, oh, I can just upload a bunch of PDFs of recipes to Etsy and I'm going to make $1 million as passive income, or $500 or $5,000 a month as passive income. That is incorrect. Are there digital product stores that are doing that? Yes. Are you likely to be one of those digital product stores in 2024? No. So the better way to look at an article like this is to use this as a jumping off point. It's got recipe collections. What niche would that be if you were selling recipes?
In the recipe, be cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. So are there other print-on-demand products you could sell to people who are trying to become home chefs? Yeah. Let's spend a little bit of that time we have for this passive side hustle to create some additional products beyond that. For the printable art, why are we selling, or the photography or the art patterns, right? Why are we selling just the printable version of this?
Right.
Take the extra 2 minutes, go over to Printify or Gelato or wherever you want to print this stuff off and create a printed version of it. Why? Not everybody that's looking for that piece of art, even if they love your design and it's better than every other design that exists on Etsy, not everybody wants the PDF version of that they can print out, or the PNG version of that. I am entirely too lazy to go find somebody to print that on canvas for me. I'd rather you just send me the canvas. If you can't do that, I'm not going to take the time to go find somebody that can. I'm going to move on to the next shop that has my second favorite design that allows me. And if we can incorporate some of those things, not only do we increase the return that we get from our passive side hustle investment, but we increase the likelihood that we have stable income with just a little bit more work. I think, Scott, the biggest takeaway I want people to have is whether it's 2012, 2024, or 2050, there's no such thing as truly passive income, even when you're selling digital products. And if we're already knowing that we're going to put a little bit of work into it, let's put the extra 5-10 minutes, half an hour a week into this to make it something that will actually last us for the long term. If we come at this from the spaghetti at the wall, spray and pray, I'm just going to create 1,000 digital products approach, we might have one that sells for a little while, but then that goes away. And we lose all of the benefit of the time we did put into it. If we instead come at this from the niche-based approach and create a suite of products, digital, physical, print on demand, handmade, however you want to incorporate these things that can all appeal to the same buyer. We not only reduce the overall amount of work that we have to put into creating all of these designs to try to get one that ranks and sells, but we also increase the likelihood of repeat buyers. We increase the likelihood of higher cart values, and we increase the likelihood that that income continues with less additional investment of time, energy, effort, and quite frankly, money in a lot of cases, without having to worry about that just going away tomorrow, which it will if somebody outranks our PDF guide on how to create passive income on Etsy.
Yes, nothing to me is truly passive. It's going to take work. I think that there's a lot of opportunity, but it's something that if you're building a business, the best way to make it somewhat passive is to me, have a customer base. So this way here, you do have control of what you can do to get sales on a regular basis. And if all you want to do is make $1,000 per month and you build your customer base, for you to send a handful of emails a month and make that is definitely doable. So is that truly passive? No. Is it lighter? Yes.